that a global education is achieved while still being plugged into a local or community reality?
Yes, I love that question because it was something that we thought of immediately. I mean, obviously, when I was asked to come to Rwanda from Germany as an American who's become a German by choice, I was very hesitant. I was thinking, oh, this sounds like a little bit like neocolonialism. What am I going down to do as the white male setting up a school in Rwanda? Why don't we help them do it themselves, which we are to a degree. It was very important for me to have a lot of local partners invested in the project, and it was very important to me to put that accent on Rwandan heritage, Rwandan traditions and culture, and the broader East African traditions and culture as part of the school curriculum and as part of the school programming. I think that it's also, in this case, dangerous to frame it as an either-or. So people can say, ooh, international schools have the pitfall of not promoting the local culture or ignoring it. And that certainly happens a lot. But if international education is done well, then the contextual lenses through which we learn are the individual, so they focus on that individual's identity and culture and language, are the local, so there's the local lens as well that focuses on the community and the immediate society, and the global lens. So all three lenses are key. In fact, those are the three lenses that are required in the IB's updated version of their middle years program for learners. And so if you're doing culture well, international education well, you're promoting learners' appreciation of diversity, which includes an appreciation of their own culture. If we want to be very concrete about it, we promote at our school, for example, traditional dance. We have a Rwandan Heritage Club. We have a Rwandan Heritage Day. We have an African Culture Day. We have an appreciation for the African culinary tradition. We engage actively with community experts. We share our campus with lots of surrounding organizations, community organizations, schools, learning centers, etc. We have football teams from other African nations come and practice on our field, for example. So there's a big sense in which our school, although it's an international school, is very authentically African, very authentically Rwandan, rooted in the traditions and the heritage of that country and affirming of it. And another way you do it is when you design your curriculum, you build in texts and topics that are relevant to the culture. So you have them doing an interdisciplinary unit, for example, where Imigongo is the focus. You know, Rwandan folk art is the focus, where we're looking at geometric patterns within it, and we're taking a mathematical focus, and they're producing it from an artistic or designer's perspective, affirming their culture, learning a lot of different subjects in an interdisciplinary way, and still at the same time learning a lot about other cultures, because other texts and topics and contexts will be represented in their curriculum. And that is the balance. So I would say to educators, if you feel there's a risk of neglecting the local culture, then do both boldly and intentionally. And actually, if you're doing international education properly, you're already doing both.
Yeah.
You cannot not affirm the local identity and heritage and do international education well.
Traditional education